Peace be upon you. Welcome everyone. This is Mohammed from Profilm. In this video, I want to talk about how to assemble the TechnoWhale 45 photo booth. It's the one that comes in a half circle shape at the top and has 4 legs. The photo booth is a really nice and suitable size, and it comes in this carrying case. So when we open the case, we'll see the most important contents, and then I'll show you how to assemble the device step by step. The side you need to open the case from is the one that's less thick, because that's the back side of the booth. Let me show you how. Of course, the key is just a simple latch. There are 2 latches. The place for the wheels is right here. What matters to me when we open the case is that the back side of the photo booth is the side we need to work on, because that's where all the complete attachments are located. Now, the important thing is to know how to attach the legs to the device, because we want it to stand firmly on its legs, so that, God forbid, nothing happens and it doesn't fall and break, God forbid. So look, the legs are already here. Here are 4 legs, and they're a bit heavy. Since they are constructed entirely out of heavy metal materials, I am using this red carpet to safeguard the delicate device from potential shocks and unwanted surface scratches. Now, I will begin the process of carefully attaching the legs. Attaching the legs, as I told you, is very easy this way. We just tighten the screw. Once we feel it's tight and secure, that's it, we stop. We stop. All right? All the legs are attached the same way, and we try to leave a gap here so we can tighten them. Of course, I recommend always removing the plastic and bags. Completely, I mean. Because it might affect the stability of... the device. Let's uncover the device. The device looks great. We see that its mirror is about 45 inches in size, and inside it, there's a touchscreen. Here's the camera spot, and the legs, as you can see, are standing firmly. Let's quickly compare this type with the other type, the Magic Mirror 65-inch. Notice the difference in size, 45 inches versus 65. This one is bigger, of course, and its appearance is different, but this one looks nicer and is more impressive. Its style is more modern. I'll show you the backside as well. It has a switch, of course, one for the... And at the bottom, there is a box for the computer and the circuits that operate the touchscreen located underneath. There are power connection sockets, an on-off button, USB ports for the camera, printer, and connecting other devices. A network connection port and the antenna for Wi-Fi cable. The power cable is the standard one that comes with the device. We connect it from the back first, and I'll start this way to turn on the device. And I'll show you how to turn it on using the power socket. After turning on the device, it starts working, the device operates, and the light comes on, which gives the device a special aesthetic, and the touchscreen turns on. And if we feel that the computer isn't working, there is a dedicated power button we can press to turn it on, and there are additional USB ports. And we like to use it to connect the camera and other devices. Now the device has booted up, and we hear the startup beep. The device is a computer. This screen is a 32-inch touchscreen that has a built-in computer running Windows. The computer itself has a program installed called DSLR Boost. This program will operate the camera, allow us to take photos, add effects, and share videos or pictures. After we turned on the device and made sure that Windows started up without any problems, we connect the camera to the device. The camera requires a mini USB cable, this type of cable, before connecting to the camera. First of all, set it to auto mode without flash. The flash should not go off inside the camera every time you take a picture. Secondly, always set the focus to automatic, set the zoom to 18, and choose a wide shot. Image stabilizer. If the camera has it, set it to fully on. And we try to go into the camera settings to conserve the battery. If we are running on battery, we adjust the image quality and image review settings. We can't set the camera to display the image because we can't see the image on the camera itself. We see the image on the device itself, on the photo booth. We set it to off in order to preserve the battery for as long as possible, and we also adjust the following setting. Another option we set on the camera is auto power off, or this option to 30 seconds. Essentially, this setting means that the camera is programmed to automatically turn itself off after a period of 30 seconds has passed. Now we are going to go ahead and get everything properly set up for the shoot. As part of this process, we also make sure to press the display button specifically to turn off the back screen. This ensures that the camera itself stays powered on and active, even though the screen remains completely dark, to save battery life. This is to preserve the battery inside the camera and not drain it too much. Of course, the camera can be mounted vertically or horizontally. This depends on the shooting style we're using or the template we've created. If the template is vertical, then we definitely keep the camera vertical. It's better so we don't have to crop the image. Yes, of course, the camera is mounted using this screw that comes with the photo booth accessories. The place to mount the camera is here, where the camera's mini USB connection is located. So in this case, we have the USB cable coming out. We insert it from inside the device, and we let it connect to the computer from the bottom side underneath. It connects here. We insert it into the USB port. This is the connection for the computer. And there is a power socket in the device, so even if we want to operate the camera without a battery, this is the screw specifically for the camera shape. This is the mounting spot, and we can adjust the camera angle up and down according to the degree we want to shoot at. If we have slightly shorter people, we can leave it lower, or we can leave it in this direction. We can also loosen the screws here. There are 2 screws here that we can loosen and move the camera back. I'll leave it as it is, like this. The camera is ready and working, and the cable will be connected from the other side, from underneath. Let's try to remove the cable. This is the cable. For the USB, we can remove the cover from the outside, but we need to close the door. Remove the cover from here, from underneath, and put it in place. Here we heard the sound of the camera connecting, and now it's ready. We close the place for the key and turn on the camera to check it. We can remove the display. I'll make sure the cabin is working or not. Now, to install the light, of course, on the device. In the end, the piece should always be kept in the box. Our box, this is basically an extender, or what we call an extension, which the light will be mounted on the device. There is a screw here where it gets fixed. Its place is obvious. You can't miss it. There is a small slot here. This is where the cable goes in. You can probably see it here. And this is where the extender connects. Okay, the light is basically an umbrella. A nice umbrella that reflects the light beautifully, of course. It's an umbrella, but we'll get to that later. The most important part is the light itself, which is the head of the Godox, like this. This is the Godox K180A. It comes with a hood, which is in this box. Notice the box is inside the device. The hood is the one that attaches to the front. The hood. It focuses the light and directs it better. If we decide to use this specific component, it is much better for the overall setup. However, we really shouldn't try to use it without the proper attachment. First, we carefully put the mounting screws onto the device and then securely attach it to the light source. This is the light itself. We attach it firmly to the device, connect it to the camera system using the trigger cable, carefully place it on top of the camera, and finally, we put it on the light to complete the process. This is the camera, and this is the light. We carefully place the umbrella onto the mounting device. This part here is the main rod for the umbrella. It goes right in here, specifically designed for this purpose. It is generally much better to detach the protective hood mechanism first and then simply attach it again later on. The umbrella is installed like this. So, the light hits the umbrella and reflects onto the person in front of the photo studio like this. Let's step back a bit and see how the device looks now. This is how it looks. We can adjust this umbrella a bit later. Let's move it back slightly. It needs 2 small rods to be installed. It's attached using 2 rods. The other end doesn't need 2 rods. It connects in the same way as the camera. This is the transmitter, and this is the receiver. After mounting the flash on the device, we install the transmitter. It is attached to the hot shoe slot where the flash is usually mounted. We open this completely, insert it here, and tighten the screw so it holds firmly. Of course, it will be working. This is clear to us from the red light. Here, it turns on. This sends a wireless signal to the receiver that's attached to the light. I'll show you how. But a very important note, when we want to use the flash, we need to set the camera to automatic mode. I told you at first to leave it without the flash. But if we want to use the flash, we switch to this mode, because now in this case, the external flash will work. We want it to work without protection. This is the receiver currently, with the trigger attached to it in both ways, from the small size for the German type, the small LLA, and we shoot this way. Right over here, what you are looking at is the specialized sync connection port. We will now try to carefully position the entire device directly on top of the base, and then we need to ensure that we properly connect the power source to the light fixture. The cable comes with it like this. This is the cable. It's the same as the camera charger cable. But I want to try to make the cable come out from this hole. So I come from the back and insert the cable this way. This specific end goes in from the small top hole, comes out right here, and then we securely connect it to the port on the back of the device. It has been connected from the back of the device. So what do we do now? We connect the power to the additional socket available. We've connected it to the power. Now it's currently connected. All right, we leave the camera in place. Let's move to this side. I'll show you. Okay, let's turn it on. Let's test the flash. It's working. Now the camera is ready to connect to the flash. As soon as we take the photo, I want to trigger the flash from the case at the same time. The final touch. The flash, of course, provides a sharpness in the photo that is very important, so I always prefer to use the flash even if we are in a place with good lighting. We notice that the photo now appears with the frame. The frame, of course, is customizable. The way that suits you is to put the frame that matches your occasion. The important point is, how do we switch off the device? How do we turn it off? Of course, the first thing we do is minimize from here. Here, there is a small lock. Once we minimize it, the program looks like this. Then we click X. The most important thing is that we always have to switch off the device. Turn it off from here programmatically. Do not turn it off using the power from the back. That will definitely cause a problem for the device. So the way is to do shutdown from here or turn off the computer. It's as if you are completely shutting down the computer. Once it finishes or completes, we know that it has turned off the computer. In this case, we go and turn off the power from the back. From here, this is the button. Of course, every time we want to turn on the device, we turn it on from here. We turn on the computer from the inside. And then we turn it off in the same way I told you about, either through or that's it. This way, the device is now off and ready, so we can disassemble it. We put it inside a bag and start carrying it and moving it with us to a different place. God willing, you liked it. So the topic is, as we mentioned, the photo booth we talked about is the photo booth TechnoWhale 45. It's available from a company on a store in Dubai and also in Britain. And in Saudi Arabia, you can find the links below this video. See you next time.